Hello everyone. In this video, we will cover the concept of hash function. So hash function, it is a cryptographic hash function. It is called as a one kind of function and that is denoted by the value h, which takes the input as a variable size of block of data and which returns the output as a fixed size bit or a string. So here this is our message M and which can be any arbitrary length of data, and the size is not fixed whenever we are providing the value to the hash function. And when hash function will be applied on your message, then it will generate the hash value which is a fixed size of length. So whenever the input will be taken by the hash function, that time the size will be variable, and whenever the output will be generated, the size will be fixed, and that is our hash function will be generated based on the h function, that is our hash function. So how we are written this hash function? H is equal to capital H of M. So this M will be indicated as a message, this H will be generated as a hash function, and this H will be considered as a hash value. So our hash value will be generated, that is H will be generated based on our hash function with respect to message M. So whenever this hash value will be generated, this H is called as a message digest. So we are writing it as MD, that is called as our message digest. So whenever we are converting this hash value into our message, that time we are using that pre-image resistance property, then second pre-image resistance property. So these are the different hash properties will be available that we will learn later in this course. So now first of all, we are taking here the message that is hello, and whenever we are applying the hash function on our data, then this image will be generated, that is called as our hash value will be generated. And the size of the hash value and our size of the message will not be same. The size of the hash value is always greater than our size of the message. And this will be denoted as our message digest. So this is our message and we are applying this hash function on our message. That time we will get our message digest. So first of all, whenever we have to provide the input, this input can be any arbitrary length of data, and after applying the hash function, it will generate the output, and that output will be on the fixed size of data, and that value will be denoted as the message digest value. So now these are the features of some hash function. So whenever the output will be generated, the output value will be a fixed length output, that is called as our hash value. So hashing of data is called as we are generating the hash function and we are applying that hash function on the arbitrary length of input data, and we will get a fixed length of output, that is called as a hashing the data. So this hash function is smaller than the input data. So whenever we are generating this hash value, that time it may be the size different than your data size. Suppose the hash size will be smaller, then this hash function is called as a compression function. And whenever it will be larger than your data value, then it is called as a digest. So these are the two different terms are given. Whenever your hash value will be generated with respect to your h of m, that is your message, that time if the value will be small, then it will be called as a compression function. If the value will be large, it will be called as a message digest. This hash function will consist of n bit of output. That is called as a n bit of hash function. There should be some size that will be fixed in that hash function. It will generate the output up to 160 bit and 512 bits. So this is the first features in our hash function, that is fixed length of output, that is hash value. Now the second one is efficiency of the operation. So whenever the hash function will be applied on our data, that is our message, then our computation will be performed, and that is in the fast manner the operation will be executed. So the efficiency of the operation is good, and our computation of the hash function are more faster than our encryption algorithm. So these are the two features of our hash function. Now in the next lecture, we will learn what are the different properties of hash function. So there are three properties of hash function. The first one is pre-image resistance. Second one is second pre-image resistance. And the third one is collision resistance. We will learn all these three properties in detail in the next lecture.